My name's Richard Mead from Brompton Technology. Brompton Technology's Tessera system is the industry leader in video wall processing. It is in use right now on tours by acts such as U2, Metallica, Ed Sheeran and Depeche Mode, as well as being used on major events such as the MTV Video Music Awards and the Oscars, and on landmark installations such as the new BT Tower Infoband. Our system is in two parts. The first is a processor that receives video signals, adjusts the scaling and colours as required, maps the image onto each individual panel that makes up the wall, and transmits the necessary data to each panel over Gigabit Ethernet. The second is a controller card that is installed into each LED video panel. It receives the data and generates the control signals needed by the LED drivers. All of that happens at up to 60 frames per second and with as little as 1 frame of latency. Today I'd like to introduce you to our newest processor, which is making its UK debut, the SX40. Its headline feature is that where our existing processors operate with high-def video, this new processor can take in 4K video and drive a full 4K video wall at 60 frames per second. That's up to 4,000 pixels wide by more than 2,000 pixels high, 9 million pixels in total. It supports video input as HDMI or SDI and is the first video wall processor to support 12 gig SDI, allowing an entire 4K at 60 frames per second signal to be delivered along a single SDI cable. It can scale the video signal without adding latency and incorporates a 14-way color corrector, allowing individual colors to be adjusted without affecting any other color. This is a huge benefit for getting corporate logos or facial tones to look just right on screen or on camera. And the SX40 is the first processor to offer these features with 4K video. But the real innovation I want to talk to you about is how we connect the processor to the LED panels, bearing in mind that there could be hundreds or even thousands of panels making up a complete 4K wall. The Tessera protocol is capable of low latency transmission of video data for 500,000 pixels at 8 bits per color and 60 frames per second over a single gigabit Ethernet link. That means that a 4K wall would require 16 individual gigabit Ethernet lines coming from the processor to the wall. But in its highest quality mode of operation, the Tessera system is actually capable of operating in 12 bits per color, at which point you would need 24 individual cables running out of the processor. That is a serious amount of cabling and a serious amount of inconvenience. So instead, the SX40 has 4 ports of 10 gigabit Ethernet on the back, which connect to our XD breakout box. The XD unit can be rack mounted or truss mounted, so it can be placed in the most convenient location near the actual panels. And each unit has 10 individual gigabit Ethernet ports. For the 10 gigabit Ethernet backbone between the processor and the breakout unit, you can choose to use copper Cat6 cable, which can run up to 70 meters, or you can use Opticon Duo single mode fiber, which can run for 2 kilometers. The XD units have a 10 gigabit Ethernet in and through, so they can be daisy chained. So if you want to use the first 5 ports in one location and the second 5 ports in a second location, then you can daisy chain 2 of the XD units to minimize cabling. The processor intelligently knows which port of the XD unit every panel is connected into, and can show you an indication of network load on each individual port to make sure it's within bandwidth limits. The XD units report status, including link health, to help technicians preempt problems before they arise. The status is available at the processor or on the built-in touchscreen, which also identifies which processor output each unit has been connected to, so that miscabling can be easily spotted and corrected. The SX40 has 40 gigabits of available bandwidth, where only 20 gigabits are needed for a 4K wall running at 60 frames per second and 10 bits per color. And that gives us the potential to support a fully redundant system with 2 entirely independent links to every panel to make it able to tolerate the failure of any panel, the failure of any gigabit Ethernet link, or even the failure of a 10 gigabit Ethernet trunk. The SX40 and XD are both ruggedized units designed for the tough world of entertainment touring and rental. And we've already taken orders from some of the world's leading video rental companies. We believe this pairing is the most capable and most convenient to use 4K video processing solution and expect it to rapidly become the standard for 4K LED wall processing. Thank you very much. For more information, go to www.bromptontech.com.